Alright, hello, this is Elwood EQ playing on Linux Pop OS. This is a Razer Blade 15 from the 2018 that I use laptop that I put Pop OS on, and I play Request. And this is Gemsnoot, the Gemsnoot series. I'm currently only level 7. I am leveling on a normal server. These little announcement thingies. Alright, so, and I'm still in the Steam Font Mountains here. Leveling, everything is blue or gray. I think I'm going to keep going for the rest of this level here. Yeah. And when I hit level 8, I'm going to go ahead and what am I going to do? Crush bone, maybe? Yeah, probably crush bone. Anyway, that thing is still up there. Doubtful anybody else has been in this zone other than just passing through. Eyes on him, okay. Good. What was I gonna do here for this episode? We are just leveling here, doing our thing on Gemsnoot, little half-hour episodes. I'd like to also, during especially the boring parts when I'm just, kind of grinding, I'm gonna, of course, that's what it's all gonna be, is grinding, but talk about various little EQ subjects there. You know what? I haven't buffed myself. Where's that? That's on 9. Okay. Anyway, ooh, look at that. Giddy up, Buttercup. That means yes. Another slot filled. Huzzah. I was reading the message boards a little bit before playing here this morning, making this video, and I read a thread about moloing, and it was specifically targeting at moloing, somebody seeking advice about moloing for Enchanter. For those of you that don't know, molo is what is typically kind of referred to as what I really consider solo anymore nowadays. It's when you are playing by yourself with a merc. And that's pretty much just it. You playing with a merc and you're by yourself. Anyway, so I'm going to try to concentrate on being able to do this and talk at the same time. I'm challenged in that area. I'm sorry. So we got, so I was reading that thread, and this person is doing the Enchanter stuff, and it's their favorite class, and they want to be able to molo. They obviously are, I think, a returning player, and they want to be able to level on their own reliably, and a lot of people they discussed the changes in the class, and that you can't it's very group centered, and basically if you're not in a group, you're going to be restricted to basically moloing things up to content that was released in 2018. And then there's a lot of little comments about little class envy things about Necros and how overpowered they are. Very nostalgic, really. It kind of makes you realize, wow, you know, this is small. That's small too, okay. That's weird. I thought I saw a different name on it. Okay, so I'm just going to go never on that because I already got one. And back in the day, I didn't play Necro, so I played, you know, a Ranger and a Cleric. So that was, but I remember being very jelly over Necros, and I secretly thought, man, you know, it'd be kind of cool to play one, but I was unwilling to pull the trigger because it felt weird. Basically, felt weird playing kind of a bad guy in a RPG. You know, you want to be the hero and stuff, and adhere to very heroic things. And, oh, I forgot to start the time. Dadgummit. Sorry about that, hang on. I will go for more time than I intend if I don't. 10 minutes already. Jeez. Alright, so on my timer here, I gotta stop at about 20 minutes. Alright, so yeah, they were kind of, you know, talking a bunch of class envy stuff about Necros, and I'm not going to argue or anything about that. I mean, it's true. But that's kind of the Necros niche, right? Solo play has always been the Necros niche in EverQuest. They are the designated solo class. Pretty much, period. Uh-oh. There you are. See if I can finish you off. Masef. There we go. I got pants. Pretty sure I got pants. I do not have pants. Well, I think I do now, don't I? Bam! And that's just the way it is, right? So whatever it takes to solo in current content, or molo, but you know, solo in current content, you know, if you want a class to be able to do that in, then you're definitely wanting to play a Necro. If Necro doesn't sounds too limiting, sounds too narrowly focused, I understand that's how you feel. I felt the same way one time also, you know. So, you know, you can try playing some other class. Again, you can play any class solo really, but you have to, cool. Sure. You have to lower your expectations, right? Just think of it, you know, like when somebody says, yeah, you're not going to be able to do anything in current content. Well, then that's fine, you know. Take your time, and just when content comes out, you know, just make sure you stay on your own. You know, you're playing by yourself anyway. Excuse me. You're playing by yourself anyway, and if you're playing by yourself anyway, eventually you're going to see the content that is currently current. Okay. Eventually you're going to see it as time passes on, but you're just, as far as everybody else, if you're really just interested in moloing, kind of like me, then really any class ought to be something that is you're willing to do. I mean, you're able to do. And the bonus of that is that all the stuff that you're going to be able to you know, solo for gear and things like that, you know, if you're, you know, 2 or 3 expansions back, all that stuff is going to be, and any of the supporting stuff to get you to that spot to be able to do that, it's going to be it's going to be a lot cheaper on the bazaar, man. You know, if the best you can do is, say for example, Empires of Canark kind of content, right? That's the best you can do. No sweat, man. You know how cheap the tunable gear is for that stuff is now, with the what's it called, Conflagrant. That stuff is pretty cheap now, and you're going to be able to make money. It's actually a little harder to make money just grinding currently in the current zones in TOV and COV than it is, I think anyway, if you're just doing vendor trash kind of grinding kind of money like I do, and you don't want to spend time messing with the bazaar like I do, then I would say don't sweat it, man. Just that's your max. That's your level. If the max level that you're going to be able to solo is Empires of Canark level stuff, then that's your thing, man. There may not even be a reason to. Well, actually, you don't even have to keep your sub current if you're going to do something like that, right? Just get your AAs maxed all the way, if you're a caster anyway, and then maybe go ahead and, well, no, you're not going to be able to have your J5 merc if you're soloing on a silver account. Even if you have all your AAs, it's going to be it could be a little dicey depending on your level. There's no reason to buy the X packs as they come out all the time. Now, I would argue that if you want to have the fancy mounts, the stat mounts or just something like a fancy merc that seems kind of cool to have, you might want to go ahead and, at least before it goes away in the marketplace or something, you might want to go ahead and get that. But you get all year to save up. If you're kind of tight on money and stuff, save $5 once in a while. Throw it in a freaking jar, and after 5 or 6 months, you'll have plenty of money to be able to you should have plenty of money to be able to get the higher tiers of X packs and stuff to be able to get the fancy stuff that you crave for like mercs and stuff like I do. I like the fancy mercs. I know I just have a gnome one here, but I got some fancy mercs, man. I got like an alien one. I got the kind of a XR Scorpion. I forget what you call those. Stuff like that. You can just get that comes with expansions. I think the XR Scorpion one came with Empires of Canark when I bought that. And unless you played during that time, I don't think you can get that now. It's not available. So that's that you miss out on cutesy stuff like that. So there's that. But overall, if you like playing Enchanter and you want to play Molo, play Molo. Just realize that, or play solo. See, now they got me saying it. It's solo. Molo sounds stupid to me. It's just me. Molo. What? Anyway, yeah, so just make that your top tier. Other classes might be able to go a little deeper, say like Shadow Knight. Yeah, they might. I think a lot of classes are going to have trouble with TOV and COV content until they, kind of get higher levels than what they need for it, than what's meant for the X pack, right? Get the higher tier. Like once you get level, the next expansion is going to increase the levels from 115 up to 120. Once you get up to 120, you get and you can get at least the baseline new spells for it. If you have then some of the classes that have trouble soloing are going to be able to solo the COV TOV at least. Probably COV content, you know. And, you know, that's what you gotta do. That's what you gotta do, man. That works. Then you can get that gear then, and it'll progress your character, and, you know, you're just gonna be a little behind people, but, you know, again, like I said, if you're soloing, you don't care if you're behind people or not. You're just doing what you can, man. The reason I don't play my Ranger anymore, it is because, oh, dadgummit, dude. Come on, Merc. Get on him. What's going on? You drive me crazy. These pretzels are making me thirsty. Ay, ay, ay. There you go. Get on him. That's how you do it. Yeah, looks like the mob reset. I don't have FD yet or anything. I got any gloves? No gloves yet. I do now. Huzzah. This is part of the reason why I'm doing this too. Staying in this, just killing the dark blues, even though I could take on more. Because I want to have all my slots filled. So I need arms still. Arms, back. And if I want to get really anal retentive about it, maybe finger. You know, maybe. You know, who knows. I think I have plenty of bone chips. I only have 15 bone chips. Probably should. There'll be skeletons in other areas where I go. Although Crushbone's not going to have skeletons. There'll be skeletons in Unrest. I'll go ahead and nuke this puppy. Get some. There we go. Bone chips there. Even though it didn't give me XP. Okay. So anyway, that's how I feel about the whole solo thing. You know? And I don't play my Ranger because I got really discouraged with my Ranger. And this, I could kill trash mobs like nobody's business. I was unable to do anything in TOV. I've basically kind of abandoned my Ranger completely since the TOV came out, because there wasn't any headshot targets, and there's a lot of stuff. You could snare a lot of stuff, but it took so long. A lot of stuff summoned, and as a Ranger nowadays and modern EQ, you don't want to be in melee range, especially if you're soloing. You don't want to do that. You want to keep using that bow as best you can. Dude, get on him, man. I'll be glad when that guy gets some kind of a taunt action going on. They do better. I'm not sure what level it is, but eventually he drops that shield and he basically dual wields for the rest of the time. He's a tank merc. Oops, I'm going to get on him. I don't want him getting all funky. Running halfway across the zone. Murky on him. Yep, you are. Good. So I don't... do I got it? Nope. It's not Defiant, is it? Nope. Never. So I don't play my Ranger anymore. He's an alt. He used to be my main. He is a alt now. Stuck at the Ring of Scale level. I don't think I even got him in any Burning Lands type stuff. Oops. So Ring of Scale level of gear is about what he has. He does have a chase loop bow, a sky barrage bow, which holds its own. All that chase loot and EOK holds its own pretty good when you compare it to group gear for a very long time. It's actually, if you get lucky enough to get some chase loot, what they call chase loot on a tune at the EOK level. As long as you don't, I mean, for group gear, it's really good, and it's worth getting, I think. I have a beagle that's whining because they think it's time to have stuff in their belly, and I might have to cut this short because I don't want you guys to have to suffer through the whiny dog stuff that I have to. So that's the reason. I mean, it's just impossible for TOV is really kind of a breaking point, a real escalation of things for a lot of classes, and they made a lot of mobs immune to lots of stuff and all kinds of crap. For people that like to solo and don't want to pay for like 3 or more accounts at one time just to play the game and current content, they it's really limited people's choices to Necro. Although I was maining my Necro before then, mostly. I mean, I stopped maintaining my Ranger in TOV when that came out, but I was not maining it. I was maining this Necro for some time before that. So daggum, come on, Mark, dude, get on him. What's going on with you? Oh, you gotta love the pathing. You see, you're just hanging out by me. How come you're not getting the other guy? He's mad. He doesn't like me. You should be killing him. Not this guy. This guy, he's okay with me right now until I make him mad. That other mob will reset like before, I think. It should. Yep, it did. That's just annoying. Get him. Get him. I don't like these huts. Speaking of pathing, man, Crushbone's going to be absolutely crazy pathing, man. Especially when you first get in, you make that left, and there's these little peons mixed in with maybe some centurions and stuff, and you got to try to get past them, and if you don't basically one-shot the pawns, they run super fast and go grab a bunch of other mobs. I mean, that's not actually, that's by design. That's not really a bug. It's just it's made worse because of the crappy pathing, but that dynamic is intended, so you can't really complain that much. Oh, you can, but it's not a claim, a complaining of quality. It's just, it's like, this is infuriating mechanic, right? When you're a noob doing noob stuff. So then of course my cleric, I don't mess with a cleric anymore. It's not even group. It's like raid. It's basically a raid character, raid class. Same thing with warrior, and other classes. That's the way I see it anyway. There's that shaman. I'll get him next. Maybe he's gonna drop something. He seems to be an uncommon type mob, meant to kind of get noobs used to dealing with casters without completely blowing them up. Maybe he has stuff for me. He seems to be a little thicker and burlier than some of the other ones. So I would say, yeah, just go ahead and, just again, if you want to play this game casually in a very, oh, look at that, he's blowing him up. He is blowing. Hey, look at this, ding-a-ding-ding. We have level 8. Awesome. This is a good spot to end this. All right. I'm just going to go back to the Druid Ring. Just kind of a little heads up before I give the heads up, to try to finish the topic, I've been kind of rambling intermittently about the soloing type stuff. Necros are definitely the absolute solo kings, once again, for sure. Okay, so if you want to solo the game, because of your playtime habits, because of your, you only have a half hour, an hour to play at a time, make a Necro, rock on. I would say Beast Lord is not a bad one to try too. The DPS is not going to be near what a Necro, no class can out DPS a Necro. But it's a little bit more doable, and because their pets are actually tougher than the Necro pets, and you can, although they don't do aggro quite as well, they don't hold aggro from you doing your dual wielding, weed whipper type stuff. You're gonna grab aggro, even just not doing anything, just all white damage from the procs from your weapons and stuff. You're gonna get aggro off your pet once in a while, and if you're fighting a named, that's gonna, if you do it like that, you're gonna get hit hard, and once you get hit really hard, a mob's gonna stay on you, and once you get healed up, it's just dicier if you do it like that. But you can FD to drop the aggro and pop back up and rock on again, so you can mitigate that. The lack of aggro that your pet does with the, I don't know if it's because they were low damage or whatever, because they have notoriously low, they might even be the lowest damage pet, even worse than a Earth pet for mage. Of the three main pet classes, you got Necro, Beast Lord, and Mage. The Mage Earth pet is notorious for being really low, missing a lot and stuff like that for DPS, but they're super beefy, right? The Beast Lord pet is almost equally on par with the Earth pet, almost. Some people prefer it because the Earth pet for the Mage, that I have a 115 Mage that I don't really play anymore. Actually, I haven't played him since I got him up to like 110, I think. Maybe 108. Somewhere around there. Then I used the Overseer to get him all the way, to get the new pet gear. That I use this for pet gear. Yeah. But I have played him, and the Earth pet. The Earth pet relies on rooting. It has a buff it does on itself that gives it a bunch of really good mitigation and things like that, and kind of stuff like that. So as far as mitigation goes, but if it's a mob that can't be rooted, it's not going to get that mitigation extra bonus, okay, outside of just what it has passively, right? The mitigation bonus effect that the Beast Lord pet has isn't quite as much as what the Earth pet has, but theirs is passive, and their passive mitigation is stronger than the passive mitigation that an Earth pet has for the Mage. And on top of that, you got slows and everything like that affects it also. You won't get the AoE aggro that it seems the Earth pet might have. I think. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. Matter of fact, I could be wrong about a lot of this stuff here. This stuff is just how I understand it. I didn't read it anywhere. It's from experience and from kind of chitter chatter with people in games, stuff like that a bit, right? So this could be a little off. The class of the pet classes, the class I know the most and the best is Necro. But of the alts that I have, the one I've maintained closest to next highest in levels has been the my Beast Lord, which my guild didn't really know about. I used him as kind of a stealth character to kind of, if I just want to be alone, if I didn't want to be messed with, I didn't feel like talking. Maybe I was even in a bad mood or something, but I was just in game to kind of get away from the fam and animals and everybody. I get on my Beast Lord and just stay away from me. I'm just gonna just kill stuff and get my self back to normal after some solitude for a while, so anyway, I've gone on a little extra long this episode, sorry about that. So next episode I'm gonna go, and I'm just gonna do this in the episode, so I'll try to talk about something fairly interesting, but I'm going to go get my spells and kind of do some maintenance type stuff for level 8 here. I'm going to do it all up in POK, and I'm also going to switch over to Crushbone, I believe, for the next place I'm going to go. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'd really like to get like a cloth cloak here off a mob, but life goes on. Okay, hopefully I'll be able to get all the spells I want to get, and if I can't, well, I'll get what I can. Especially these early spells, you don't really have to get them all right away. You want to try to cover, I'll cover it in the next episode. How's that little cliffhanger there, as far as strategy for what spells to get and things like that, if you're tight on a budget like I am on this guy. Have a good one. This is Elwood EQ playing on Linux Pop OS 2104. And I'm out.